So next up, well, I've never been a morning person myself, so I usually try to wake up just early enough to get ready and make it into work right in the nick of time, which means that anytime I run into delays on my commute, throws the whole thing off. I end up being late, and it ruins my morning. But
That's because you
this,
live in Staten Island.
that's right. That's really the root of the
Motor,
problem.
motor
Minor detail. Yeah.
I run into boat traffic all the time, though. It's a pain. So, so this next group figured out a way to solve that actually, and make sure that late risers like myself can be right on time every time, boat traffic or no. Let's hear now from AMready.
Hello, my name is Grant Herman. Here with me is Howard Jian and Candice Bousquet. Shon, Elias is here in spirit and in our hearts. We are the creators of AMready. AMready is an innovative iPhone application meant to help you get to where you're trying to go on time. Have you ever woken up for an appointment and you're late and you show up and you're rushed and you're just not your best self? Don't you want to show up calm, confident, and get that job you're looking for? Well, that's what we're trying to solve with AMready. AMready is built in React Native, React Redux, async storage, and other APIs. When the user signs in, they're able to select the title of their alarm. They're also able to select the time that they want to arrive, where they're coming from, and where they're going. When a user types in where they're going or where they're coming from, an autocomplete API message is sent to Google. When they hit Get Directions, another API request is made to Google Directions. And then Apple Maps renders the map with the 2 points, and then all the different paths that the user can take are rendered underneath. To talk more about the Google APIs, here is Howard Jian.
Thanks, Grant. So when a user types into the address form, a couple of things goes on behind the scenes. There's actually 3 fetch requests made to Google's autocomplete API. One to check whether the user input was an address, the second being whether it was a location or an establishment, and the third being whether it was a region. We do a comparison based on the user's location and determine the top 5 most relevant choices and output that as the autocomplete. When the user hits Get Directions, we actually make a fetch request to Google's Directions API and also re-render the map to center it between the 2 points. Then we decode this response from Google Directions and output the list of routes, the public transportation routes available. When a user selects the route, we decode the response and also draw a series of coordinates on the map and connect them via line segments or polylines. When the user hits save, it triggers the alarm. And now I'm going to pass it on to Candice. We'll talk a little bit more about this.
Thanks, Howard. So there are many inherent challenges of creating an alarm clock app that we weren't quite aware of when we first started the project. So one challenge that we faced is that we didn't have access to the native alarm clock app in iOS, and therefore we had to build our own alarm clock from scratch. Another thing that we quickly realized is that we needed some way to generate background noise so that if the phone was in lock mode or if the app was docked or in the background, the alarm ringer would still persist. So to get around that, we use the background timer API, which sets an asynchronous timer to run in the background of the application. So when a user saves an alarm, what actually happens is it kicks off a timer set to 2 hours prior to the estimated wake-up time. And at that point in time, the app will start checking Google Maps every 15 minutes to see if the duration of the trip has changed. If the duration has changed, it will update the alarm timer according to that change. And finally, a timer is set to the precise time that the user should wake up. And at that point, the alarm ringer will trigger, and it will send a local notification to the home screen, which will look something like the screen behind me. So thank you all so much. And if you're interested in using our app, we'll be deploying it to the Apple Store in the coming week. Thank you.
It was very simple and definitely something that I need to use. The F train is just so unpredictable, and so yeah.
Yeah, very cool hack, I think, to get the background timer work. That's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely ran into some unsuspected challenges with that. It's impressive with how simple a user interface I think that they were able to come up with all the challenges that they ran into. So really nice job, AMready.